Look, so many people start businesses that never make any money. In fact, I've started more businesses that haven't made a single dollar compared to the businesses that I now run that have made between 6 and 7 figures online. So trust me, I know how hard it can be. So starting a business and not making money isn't really a problem. But here's the problem. So many people take out loans to set up businesses that take multiple 5 figures of investment just to get started. Maybe setting up a cafe, a gym, or a restaurant. These businesses have incredibly low profit margins, massive overheads, a massive startup investment, and what I like to call a long time to profit disease. AKA, you don't profit for at least 1 year, if not multiple years. So you're basically just making money to cover the cost of the loan that you've taken out. And there is a chance that the business completely fails and you still have to pay off the loan. But then there are people that start highly profitable businesses without any loans, without big overheads, with high profit margins, and definitely no long time to profit disease. Like Ty, who makes 20k a month with his CMA business, like Rosario, who makes 7k a month with his CMA business, or Leia, who's making over 9,000 per month with her own business as well. But for you to become like Ty, Leia, and Rosario, you first need to make your first $1,000 online. I've made a lot of money online, and I genuinely believe that my first $1,000 that I earned gave me the most happiness. That feeling is euphoric. Because for some of you, $1,000 is a lot of money, and it could genuinely change your life and your family's life. But the crazy thing is, it's not even about the money, it's about the proof. Because if you start your own CMA business with me, when you make your first $1,000 profit in the first 30 to 60 days, you now know that it's possible. And you also know that you can do it again. So have a wild guess. Can you imagine what happens next? You make more and you sign more clients. To give you a real life scenario, this is what that exact transformation looked like for Ty. He now makes about 20k a month, but it took him 3 months to go from making 0 to making over $3,000 per month. It then took him 4 months to go from 3k a month to 6k a month, and then just under 12 months to go from 6k a month to where he's at right now. So you can see how that worked for Ty. His first $1,000 didn't make him rich, but it showed him the proof. It showed him that he could do this and he could do it again and again. And that's exactly what he did. Because when you make your first $1,000, you then naturally want more. As a human, you're not satisfied. And you want to make 2k, then you want to make 5k, then you want to make 10k. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should embrace that. So before you start making 2k a month, 5k a month, 10k a month, and then 20k a month, we first need to take a step back. How do we guarantee that you make your first $1,000 online? The goal of this video is to help you make that happen. So let's do that right now. To get your first clients and make your first $1,000 online, you need to know this first. There are 3 golden questions that you need to answer before you start your SMMA or CMA business. You first need to understand what service you will offer, then the type of business you're going to serve, and finally, how and where you're going to find clients that will actually pay you. So let's start with question 1. What service will you offer? Let me give you some examples right now. These are the services that business owners will pay you for. Social media management, content creation, email marketing, Facebook, Google, TikTok, or Snapchat ads, SEO, and a whole lot more. Influencer pooling or influencer management, UGC, aka user-generated content, funnel building, chat closing or sales closing, and much more. I could give you 4 more pages of these. Just know that the list of services you could offer are endless. But I now want to show you what are the services that are working the best for my students. Because it's not about just picking any service, it's about picking a service that's in demand and that's actually working. If it's not broken, don't try fix it. Alvi offers social media management to business owners. He just made £5,000 in a single month at age 17 while still in school. Luke signed his first clients within 3 weeks of working with us for social media management. AKA, he's getting paid to manage their social media page. And Brett has signed multiple clients in the past month, one of which just signed for $750 for a website build, and also $750 per month for Facebook and Instagram management. In fact, he's only doing 2 posts on Instagram and Facebook per week and making $750 per month. That's crazy. Then we've got Rachel, who just hit 6 figures per year. She made just under €9,000 in a single month. That's €106,000 per year. And hey, that's assuming she doesn't sign any clients, which is next to near impossible. She's been signing 1 to 2 clients per month consistently for the last 3 months. And all of her clients pay her for social media management and a little bit of consulting. And then we've got Karsten. He just signed his first client within 1 to 2 weeks, within about 10 days of joining our program. This is a low ticket client, paying him as low as €185 per month, but he's got this locked in on a 3-month contract, and the client provides all the content. So all he does is manage the social media page for a couple minutes each day. Then we've got my student Cam, who just signed a really big content creation client. He's getting paid $2,100 per month. On a side note, you can read the screenshot on the left. He said this program has seriously been a game changer in more of just changing his personal mindset about business and stopping the mental blockers that were halting him from success. Not a bad client to pick up when you're still in college. And then we've got Joe, who just hit the 5K mark. He's also creating content for his clients. And then we've got Amanda, who just signed a one-off client for $450 for basic ad creation design and creating a couple Instagram reels. Now let's take a look at paid advertising. My student Luan just signed 2 clients in 1 day for $1,800 per month, and that's for paid advertising, aka Facebook and Instagram ads. Then we've got Connor, who despite having no experience just signed a client for $500 per month for paid ads. Or Michael, who just signed a Facebook ads client for €1,200 per month, also on a 3-month contract. You can also see his feedback there of our program. Won't get into too much of that right now, but I think it's interesting to see how he said the course layout is unbelievable. Can't believe the detail it goes into, but also the Telegram group chat really helped him because people can answer questions that he's struggling with. And then we've got Craig, who brought in some massive clients in his first few weeks inside of our program. Some for social media management and some for website design. In fact, if you look at his message, he just closed 5 clients in 1 week, which is bringing him an extra $10K per month in revenue. Or we've got Shuja here, who signed on a website design client. He's getting paid $2K to do a Shopify website design. You see, when you're picking a service, you have 2 options. Option number 1 is to pick a service you already know a lot about, or you find a service that you are willing to learn by yourself, such as website design, paid advertising, or content creation. And option number 2 is you learn the basics of one service, just enough to know how to sell it, and then you outsource the service delivery to a contract. Option number 1 is the freelancer route. Option number 2 is the agency owner route. Both of these work, and we have students making 6 figures a year as freelancers and some as agency owners. I just want to let you know that there are 2 options. So if you don't know a lot about any services right now, that's fine. You might want to pick number 2, which is learning the basics and then outsourcing the technical work to somebody already knowledgeable in that subject area. And if you know a lot about a service already, or you want to learn how to do it, then option 1 would suit you. But let's move on to golden question number 2. What type of business are you going to serve? To keep things simple, we're going to call the type of business that you serve a niche, aka a specific industry or a specific type of business. For example, in my agency, I have 2 niches. We work with supplement companies that sell their supplements online, typically for $30 or $40. And then we work with online coaches, typically coaches in the fitness and nutrition space. Their business is slightly different as they sell high ticket coaching for multiple thousands. And how I chose those niches is actually pretty simple. I first matched my service to the niche that I chose. This means I would make sure the service that I'm going to offer makes sense for that niche. For example, for fitness coaches, I understood that they didn't really need someone to come in and do paid advertising for them. But what they needed was someone to save them time and manage their social media so that they could focus their time on closing more deals. I then found a service that was going to satisfy their needs. I knew their needs because I was also in the fitness industry, so I understood what people wanted. You then need to find an industry that you already know a decent amount about. You don't need to be an expert, but you do need to understand the basics of the business and how it works. You need to make sure your niche has scalability, aka there are enough businesses in that industry or in that niche for you to make 10 or 20K per month. But I know exactly what you're probably thinking right now. All of that sounds hard to do, so why do you even need a niche in the first place? Well, specialists earn more money than generalists. A surgeon makes more than a general practitioner doctor. And that's because they have a niche. They're specialized in one thing. You also become an authority figure and will just sign more clients this way. People see you as the go-to person for your industry and referrals flow in. In fact, there was one month in October/November 2020, one of the fitness coaches we were working with was incredibly impressed with our service. And he was in this mastermind group with other fitness coaches. So naturally, people started asking him, Hey, who's creating your content? Who's managing your social media? We decided to give him an incentive. So we said, hey, look, if you can get someone to sign up for our service, we will take 10% off your monthly fee. So we're giving him a massive discount. He brought us an extra $9,000 per month in revenue within just a couple of months of referrals. And we could only do that because we had a niche. If we worked with everyone and everybody, it wouldn't have worked as well. I want you to look at it this way. Let's say you have 5 Zoom calls from Monday to Friday lined up with 5 different business owners, but all 5 businesses are in different industries. One has a gym, one is an online nutritionist, another owns a restaurant, another is a real estate agent, and the last is a technology company. You can imagine that the conversation you have with each person will be very different. And what happens if you don't know much about the technology industry? That call isn't going to go very well. Or what if you know a lot about real estate, but you don't know anything about nutrition? You can see where the problems arise. If you have one niche, you become really good at one thing, and your calls are simple. So if you're completely stuck, I'm going to give you some niches that you can look at. These are 3 broad categories. Number 1, e-commerce businesses. Number 2, local businesses. And 3, online service-based businesses. None of these are perfect, and these are very broad niches, so ideally you find a smaller niche within these niches. For e-commerce, think about products you buy every day. For example, gym gear, skincare, beauty products, etc. For local businesses, think about gyms, lawyers, consultants, accountants, car dealerships. For online service-based businesses, think about online coaches, consultants, aka anyone who sells a service online. So these are just to get you thinking, but look, at the end of the day, you actually don't need a niche. It does help for all the reasons we've just looked at, but I've also helped dozens of people make $5,000 per month and more without them ever needing to find a niche. So now we're going to move on, but I want you to stick with me. Now it's time to find businesses who will pay you. So here's exactly how you can do that. Number 1 is you find them on Instagram. If you decide you want to work with business coaches, you could very easily go to Alex Hormozi or Gary Vee, click on their followers, and type in the word coach. That is going to show you all the coaches that follow those guys. It's a very, very easy way of finding leads. Next up, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you'll be able to just search for the industry that you're interested in or your niche, which makes the process very easy. Google Shopping, you just type in your industry into Google and go to the Google Shopping tab. If it's a product business, there's going to be a bunch of products for sale on Google. If it's a service-based business, this may not work. But if you want to work with e-commerce businesses, this works perfect. And look, any other social media platform. You can find businesses on Pinterest, on Facebook, on TikTok. The opportunities are endless. So once you've found businesses, you need to reach out to them. So here's how you do that. You can do it with cold email outreach, Instagram DM outreach, which could be a text, video, or a voice message, LinkedIn DM outreach, which can also be text or voice message, a Facebook group outreach, and again, there's many other forms. All of these work, and I have students getting clients with all of these methods right here. So I don't want you to think there's one perfect method. All of these work. I've signed clients with cold email, with Instagram, with LinkedIn. I've not done Facebook groups, but I know people that do it very well. If you decide to go with cold email, here are some tips. In your emails, make sure that you give them value and offer them something for free. Maybe you offer a free case study or a free audit. In your second email, I want you to follow up and request them to book in a call where you'll offer them more value. The reason we don't want them to try and book a call in email 1 is we want to give them something for free. Everybody loves free stuff. So when you ask for the call, they're more likely to say yes. In email 3, I want you to follow up again and highlight the value you can provide, aka the results or how much money they could make. I actually give my students scripts and case study templates and everything else they're going to need to do cold email and all these other outreach methods effectively to make their first 5K in just 90 days. For Instagram DM outreach, you want to keep your text messages short and snappy, don't pitch anything, and ask them a general question about their business. As the conversation progresses, offer them something for free and push them towards a call when it makes sense. If you're doing voice messaging, same rules apply. Keep it personal, compliment them, give them value, and ask. And same goes for video. Again, I also give scripts and templates and examples to my students. So now you're ready to sell your services. You've got a niche, you know what you're selling, and you've effectively found businesses. You now need to sell them because they're not going to sell themselves. So if you book in a Zoom meeting or a call with a client, with a prospect, here are some tips for you. I want you to show appreciation to your prospect and compliment them. I want you to state the purpose of the call in the first 30 seconds and be honest with them. Say, hey, John, appreciate you hopping on the call today. Before we get into this call, I just want to let you know this is the purpose of the call. I want to figure out if you're a good fit for what I do and if I can help you in any way. And if I think you'd be a good fit, I might extend an offer with you, John, at the end of this call. How does that sound? Sound good? Let's get into it. And that's when you start the call and ask them questions. Don't come across as needy. You've got to convince yourself you don't need them, even though you might need them to make money, because nobody buys from someone who's desperate. I want you to start asking questions that start with who, what, where, when, why, and how. These are powerful, moving questions. Where do you want your business to be in the next 90 days? When was the last time you felt like your business was growing at the rate it should be growing? What do you think you need to change to get more results? Why haven't you done anything sooner? And I want you to state your price with confidence. When you get to the end of the call and John asks, hey, this sounds good, how much do you charge? Don't hesitate, lay down the price and leave it. Ask those strong questions we just looked at and be quiet. Don't justify yourself and wait for them to answer. And when things are looking good, you want to move into a close and lock down the deal. The client isn't going to do this for you, so you got to walk them through. Does that sound good? When would you like to get started? Shall I get your onboarding call booked in? Use these powerful questions to get them moved towards the close. And then you want to sign the deal. Now you can send them a follow-up email with all the next steps and payment information, etc. But my preferred method is to close the deal right there and then when they're motivated and excited to work with you. And then you just rinse and repeat. If you can sign one client, you can sign two. And if you can sign two clients, by God, you can sign 10. Now you are able to get started right away. Here's a rundown of the exact numbers to show you how possible it is for you to run your own six-figure business. A six-figure business that makes 100K per year is just $8,333 per month. The average client pays about $1,000 per month, and the average client stays for at least 5 months. So you'll make on average $5,000 per client at a minimum. So in 1 year, you just need to sign 20 clients to make 100K per year. Now let's break it down even further. 20 clients in 1 year is just 1.5 clients per month. So let's just call it 2 clients a month. Now let's say you close 30% of the meetings that you book, which is very realistic. To sign 3 clients per month, you need 10 meetings per month. That is very, very possible. It's 1 call every 3 days. People are doing this every day and they're building six-figure and multi-six-figure businesses from their laptops. Now, right now, you have got 2 options. Option 1 is you go it alone, you try and make this work. You implement everything we've gone through today. You likely spend months trialing and erroring and figuring everything out and not making a lot of money at all. In fact, you might go months without making a single dollar. And hey, you could be like the 99% of people that give up after 1 to 2 months of no results, because they have no help, no support, and they don't know what to do. Option 2 is you learn from someone who has done this. Not someone who just got a couple clients and then launched a course or a Discord that you found on TikTok, but someone who's built a 7-figure business. Someone that's done this at a high enough level to know what works, not just for a couple clients, but to build a real business. You can start getting results 5 times faster than those who go alone. The average person that works with me makes between 1.5 to 5K a month in the first 90 days. You can copy and paste the templates, scripts, proposals, contracts, and everything I've used to build my 7-figure business. And most importantly, you can skip the wasted time, energy, and lost revenue from doing it alone. Oh, and be guaranteed to make 1.5 to 5K a month in the first 90 days. You see, option 2 is for people like Dylan, Sam, Tom, Kylie, and Alvi. The people that get results and make thousands every